that if Mlangeni, if Levimbata got 20, then Rivonia trial would be difficult to escape death sentence, as we were thinking, etc. But this is the comrade I'm talking about, a comrade that therefore emerged as one of our stalwarts, that as we went to the struggle, as we were beginning a process, they had to spend 27 years in prison. Mlangeni was not just an Isitwalandwe because he was part of a group, but because he was such a comrade that many who worked with him, issues of the ANC, you could not tell him any other thing. He lived the ANC. When the ANC wanted volunteers, he was there to be a volunteer. When the ANC wanted soldiers, he was there to be the soldiers. And of course, Mlangeni was a political animal. He believed in the ANC policies. He believed in Freedom Charter. And I'm sure as we say goodbye to him, we need to promise him that we are going to fulfill the task that was given to all of us by the people of our country, that we should implement the Freedom Charter. Because the Freedom Charter is a document that was produced by the people under the leadership of the ANC, but it says you need to change the lives of our people. We need to bring equality. We don't need to create new policies. The policies are there. I'm sure, as we used to talk to him, that we have not yet completed the implementation of the Freedom Charter so that we can change the quality of our lives. I'm sure, comrades, after 25 years, we must be as clear as anything that the answer to deal with the legacy of apartheid and poverty in our country is the implementation of the Freedom Charter. This remains our challenge as Comrade Mlangeni leaves us, and I'm sure we should not hesitate to point the direction, as it were. We cannot avoid it. We cannot look aside. He was part of it. He was a delegate in Cape Town, in Congress of the People. And this is what he fought for. And he knew we have not achieved the final. It remains with us who are remaining to implement the policies and to reshape the ANC for the task that it is faced with. When it was faced with the task of trying to convince the enemy, they said peaceful, they said let us talk, they said let us find a solution. When the ANC realized they were not responding, they then said, we need to act. We need to have action, programs of actions, which must end up the armed struggle. And that's what the ANC did to gain our political freedom. We now need our economic freedom. And this is the phase we must now know is our last phase. And we cannot pretend we have done it. We haven't. So I'm sure Comrade Mlangeni will go with that hope. And it is our task, particularly those who are still young. We are in a phase where we have got to use the method that fits this, and the methods are there. The Freedom Charter is our direction. Key elements of the Freedom Charter need to be implemented so that our people will say what we ask the ANC to do, the ANC has done it. And nobody else will do it except us. Because my belief is that our policies are superior to policies of whatever political party you have. But it is us and implementation. And therefore, I would want to say, Isitwalandwe, Comrade Andrew Mlangeni, my leader, my comrade and my friend, you were able to see freedom and lived during the time we enjoy our political freedom, but not our economic freedom. The radical transformation of the economy is what we are left with. Is a task I believe all comrades understand remains with us. And it is now, not at the time. Hamba kahle Shawara Maqhawe, hamba kahle Isitwalandwe. Thank you very much.
Well, the former President Jacob Zuma paying tribute to Isitwalandwe Siaparangwe and Tate Andrew Mlangeni, who passed on the first virtual memorial service for him, paying tribute there, describing him as a political animal who understood the policies of the African National Congress. The former president ending off there, saying while political freedom may have been attained, he thinks that all comrades within his party would agree that economic freedom is what is required within the next phase. Also describing him, saying that he was just not Isitwalandwe because he was somebody within the African National Congress who participated in the fight for freedom in South Africa, but also that he lived the ANC. Whenever the ANC wanted volunteers and soldiers, the late Ntate Andrew Mlangeni was there, always willing to be part of the struggle itself. And he says Ntate Mlangeni comes from a group of ANC comrades that he says knew at the time that the ANC clearly defined what kind of freedom the now governing party wanted, and saying basically that Andrew Mlangeni, together with others that at the time, the likes of the late Joe Kabi as well as Raymond Mhlaba, were those who'd been secretly sent to China to go and be trained to be able to deal with the struggle of the time, always willing to assist and wanting to ensure that at the time apartheid itself had been defeated. So the former president there paying tribute. That's the very first virtual memorial service. Another will be held tomorrow as well, but the very first being delivered there by the former president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma. Very good evening to you. Starting a bit later here on the full